Hi everyone, McMike back again with another movie review. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about The Croods: A New Age, the sequel to the hit film, The Croods. I've been a big Croods fan ever since the movie first premiered, and I was incredibly excited for the sequel to come out. This video has been a long time coming. It's taken me quite a while to gather all my feelings and for me to do my research. Thanks again for all the love and support on all my past Croods analysis videos, and let's get right to it. So before I go into the plot of The Croods: A New Age, I of course need to go over the overall lore. Now, while some Croods tubers will start at the first movie, or maybe even go to the Netflix series, Dawn of the Croods, I want to study the bigger picture here and start in true chronological order. Now, it all starts with the first ancestral race, otherwise known by their acronym, FAR. Now, the FAR don't get too much direct attention in canon, but they're essential to understanding the driving force behind the Croods. So you see, before any intelligent life existed on Earth, the FAR sent down a moon. This moon was the seed of life, and was the basis for all humankind. The arrival of this seed came to be known as the First Impact, a giant meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. Now here's where you may ask, but what of Eep and her family during this event? Worry not, I will get to that in due time. Now the FAR had actually sent 2 moons down to Earth. The one containing humans took over the planet, while the other lay dormant, contained by something called the Lance of Longinus. Years pass, and the humans discover both the moon and the spear in the South Pole. On September 13, 2000, without knowing the destruction it would cause, these human researchers pulled the spear, causing an event known as the Second Impact. This Second Impact was a cataclysmic event that wiped out 50% of all human population. These events set the stage for the Croods, creating a cinematic universe of sorts that contained many different movies, shows, and even literature that all take place in the same canon. Unlike other Croods tubers, I try to explain the big picture before I go into my analysis. And I want to talk about why I emphasize this. If you're watching this now, I assume that you're a Croods fan, and like many of you, I used to be a big fan of Deadly Comics here on YouTube. His Croods reviews were insightful and entertaining, at least at first.
This is not a small movie, this is not a simple movie. All of this happens in in only 98 minutes.
Now for years I've followed him and his channel, I've respected his views and his theories, but in the more recent years I've noticed what I would say, you know what, an obvious decline in quality.
And honestly this one is a little bit hard for me to make, because I love the Croods, you love the Croods, we all love the Croods, we love CroodTube and this, this community that has formed around, the best movie that we know about, which is why it's hard for me to do this video talking about this film, The Croods: A New Age, also known as Croods 2, and how it just sort of it flies in the face of everything that made the Croods franchise so good, and with the first movie and with the...
I call him Dastardly Comics the way he twirls his mustache and laughs diabolically after tying me up on the train tracks. The research, love, and care that I come to expect from a Croods tuber of his caliber? Where did it all go? It feels like his videos nowadays lack the heart and effort that they once had. And it's not just me that thinks that. Croods podcasters, Angelica the Homunculus and Brandon, invited me to the Daily Croods cast as a guest. These guys are great and have been pals of mine for some time now. On their latest episode, we got on the topic of the current state of the Croods community as a whole.
The show's creator and executive producer seeks to capture Greg's authentic emotions and give audiences a relatable everyman. Greg has been a star of the show since he has been born, and the studio officially adopted him.
That's so interesting. I feel like a lot of Croods fans don't even realize that. Like even some like Croods tubers, I could name a few, but I know Deadly Comics in his most recent video. Not to stir up any sort of drama, but I know he failed to even gloss over that information during his analysis, and I feel like that was a bit...
Fucking piece of shit.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean...
He's been going pretty downhill lately.
He has, yeah. It's really disappointing as a Croods tuber myself, and he was the main reason that I decided to get into this line of business,
No, yeah, I get you. He inspired me a lot, too.
I can't begin to tell you how disappointed I am in Deadly Comics.
I can't tell you how many therapy visits I had where I just talked about this over and over again.
I know. What about you, Angelica?
Come on, Angelica. This is your safe space. You can talk.
His content truly took a turn after boxing. That motherfucker really just ruined everything with that bullshit. I got that fucker's IP too.
Yeah, if I had the ability, I think I would do the same thing. Anyway, I've rambled on for far too long. I'll continue this discussion in the next video, so be sure to check out part 7 in this 10-part series. Special thanks to my viewers and a super special thank you to my Patreon supporters. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a Croods-tastic day.